Morning, everyone. So, I don't know that I've read much from Town Hall. I got this article here from Kurt Schlichter, and I read part of it already, and it is hilarious. Let's just dive right in. So, it starts out George Santos, legend. And we read a story like this the other day from Revolver. I think Darren Beatty wrote it. I'm not sure about that. Darren Beatty shared it. Revolver doesn't always cite the author, or I don't know if it ever cites the author. But let's see what they have to say here. Let's make no mistake. Perhaps the most important and consequential Republican of the current era is one George Santos, aka Anthony DeVolder, aka Drag Queen Katara Revenge. He is an absolute hero, and he has done more for the cause of conservatism than 1,000 GOP suits parodying Cato Institute and or Chamber of Commerce cliches. Sure, he has a track record of shocking scams, scores, and shenanigans that would make a lesser man, assuming that's how he's identifying this week. You don't know what George. Blush. Not George. Perhaps the greatest politician to bear the first name since the father of our country. Oh my gosh. No, in spite of his controversies and creative CV, he ran for a Democrat-leaning seat and won, and that's true. His vision and perseverance and refusal to take no, or that's a violation of federal law, for an answer won us an extra House slot. George Santos is now 20% of the Republican majority. What makes it even sweeter is that he was running in the pompous, failing New York Times backyard, and that the tacky tabloid never figured out that this guy was a one-man crime spree. He fooled them all. Way to go, George, if that's your real name. Naturally, the Democrats are in a tizzy over the recent revelations about his unusual past. Aided by the regime media, they are demanding that he resign his seat, which means a special election and likely replacement by some pinko communist. A few FedCons are joining the chorus, but our boy George is hanging tough. To quote New Kids on the Block, of which I'm pretty sure George will be shown to have once claimed to have been a founding member. Oh man. Kurt Schlichter is apparently hilarious. I'm going to have to try and read more of his stuff. I think I follow him on Twitter. I'm going to have to make sure I do. And more importantly, Kevin McCarthy is refusing to call for him to resign. This is huge. This is momentous. This is long overdue. The speaker is playing by the new rules and using them as an oversized suppository for the Democrats. The old rules were pretty clear. As a politician, you were pretty much expected to be a dishonest schmuck. You just had to portray yourself as not being one, and you had to hide your lies, dissembling, and corruption sufficiently to create an air of deniability. Got it. Your lies, dissembling, and corruption. We all knew they were rotten. They just had to have the decency to not rub their rottenness in our faces, and we could all go on pretending that the sordid business of politics was not really that sordid. Under the old rules, George Santos would be hounded out of the office at the first major scandal revelation. But the old rules have been replaced. See, the old rules would have required the Democrats to police their own at the cost of a short-term political loss, though not much of one, since their most vivid villains come from deep blue states that happily re-elect their own bad guys. Let's review the rogues gallery of dirtbags whose retention led to the new rules that keep George Santos a congressman. There's Dick Blumenthal, the hero of the Tet Offensive. He was never near Vietnam, but did that stop him from preening about like a war hero? He's from Connecticut, and the Connecticuters did not mind. Back to the Senate goes Fowdy Murphy. I don't know who that is. In the nearby pseudo-state of Rhode Island, is Sheldon Whitehouse. He allegedly belongs to an all-white beach club, but that's cool with his Democratic constituents. Back to the Senate he goes to pontificate about white supremacy, of which he is an expert. Let's go across the fruited plain to California, where Eric Swalwell allegedly bared his fangs. He's still in Congress. This is really, my God. Wow, Kurt Schlichter is hilarious. He's still in Congress, though not on the Intel Committee anymore. California Senator Feinstein had a Chinese spy for a driver for 2 decades, but she can plead lack of intent on account of the fact that she is totally senile. It's actually sad. Heading back, let's stop in Minnesota to attend Ilhan Omar's combination wedding anniversary and family reunion. Then on to New Jersey to visit Senator Robert Mendez. You don't even want to know what that guy is into, though the feds keep trying, not very hard, to find out. Then back up north again to say how to Senator Elizabeth, to Senate squaw Elizabeth Warren. Actually, for Massachusetts, re-electing a fake Indian is nothing. For decades, they re-elected Ted Kennedy, and he killed a chick. So please, tell us more about how George Santos is diminishing the awesome credibility of our Congress. Explain how his pressure lessens the mighty moral firepower these Solons wield. Enlighten us on why this petty chiseler and idiosyncratic LGBT transgender, hilariously, one accusation that he is faking being gay. He's faking being gay. Is unfit to sit among the rest of the perverts, bunko artists, and fabulous in Congress. Frankly, the addition of George Santos to the 534 other legislators probably raises their average decency. Oh my gosh. The continued presence of George Santos. I hope he serves every single day of his term, and I am not ruling out strongly endorsing him for re-election. It's a welcome and refreshing repudiation of the Democrats' use of cheesy double standards to screw over the GOP. You have to repudiate him, they cry. Nah, he's a sure GOP vote. Do you think he's going to go off the reservation? Sorry, Liz. And vote against the GOP that's backing him? Ha! If Kevin McCarthy asks him to come help move his apartment, George is so in debt he'll do it. Do they really think we'll lose 20% of our majority because George Santos was naughty? Not happening. George Santos is a potent middle finger in the face of our enemies. We are not going to apply one set of rules to ourselves that help Democrats, while the Democrats apply another set of rules to themselves that help Democrats. The age of sap Republicans is over, and if you want to go back to the old rules, we'll know it when we see Blumenthal doing the duffel bag drag and Warren walking off into the sunset down the Trail of Tears. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. What an amazing article. Follow Kurt Schlichter. My goodness. He is a funny, funny man. This is a fantastic article and a fantastic piece. Like, George Santos is everything that's wrong with the system, which is why it's so wonderful that he's there. I couldn't agree more. Anyways, this was a great article, a great way to start the day. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like this. Let me know what I can do to bring better content, to increase, to do better, to give you more of what you want. All right. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a great day.